Well, things looking a little less bleak for the Eurozone economy, with growth turning out to be slightly stronger than previously estimated. Forecasters had expected it to grow by 0.6% in the second quarter of the year, making it shy of just under 4% year-on-year. But the final numbers were better than that. Quarterly growth came in at 0.8% in the quarter, largely thanks to a pickup in household spending. That's even as soaring inflation squeezed disposable incomes. That figure up more than 4% on a year earlier. Sandra Phlippen is the chief economist of ABN AMRO Bank and joins us now. Sandra, if you look at these figures, then GDP numbers up, employment figures up as well. Encouraging signs in a time of such crisis?
That seems weird, doesn't it? Yeah, so these second quarter data that have come in were positive. But I'm afraid it will be, let's say, the last party for now in Europe, because winter is coming. And winter is coming with a lot of problems. So we're having price increases in an increasingly broadening set of indicators. So mainly still, of course, energy prices. It is not just price, but it's actually also the supply of energy that is a problem. I think we sometimes forget that if we compensate consumers to pay for high prices, that they can then decide to consume the energy as before. But that is, of course, not the case. There is real shortages on top of the price, which also reflect risk premium, of course.
And was it a surprise that consumer spending has held up? Why was that?
Well, you mean that second quarter upside surprise?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was actually mainly tourism in the second quarter. That was basically bouncing back from the restrictions that we had at the end of 2021 and the beginning of 2022. You should realize that for many European households, a lot of travel has been postponed. And when you postpone your travels, you have received vouchers, so certificates with which you can travel at a later time. Now, we see that a lot of these vouchers have been used in the second quarter because people also know in the third quarter, well, you don't actually know what's going to happen after the summer and at the end of the summer in terms of COVID. So let's use our travel now. And therefore, you also saw that in the southern European economies, growth was the strongest.
And it was interesting to see that major economies in the Eurozone, the likes of France, Germany, pretty sluggish, whereas smaller ones, the likes of the Netherlands, Romania, Czech Republic, doing particularly well. How important do you think policy coordination will be moving forward?
Oh, that will be very important. For the Netherlands, indeed, the second quarter data were a big surprise also to us, while we actually have granular micro data from payment transactions. So we have a lot more detailed information than the official statistics, but still this was really a surprise. I think that a lot of Dutch, speaking for the Netherlands, a lot of Dutch households actually stayed home and they are having their tourist spending in the Netherlands. And Dutch tourists are wealthy tourists, so the spending, we also saw that in open times during COVID, they spend a lot in their own country. Now, all of that is not going to help when basically the energy prices are going to trickle down into the consumer purchasing power. So what we're probably unavoidably are going to see is one of the biggest real income falls that we've seen in decades, as energy market prices are trickling down into consumer energy bills. That is not yet the case at this point in time in an extreme sense. So sometimes, you read the headlines and you think that it's already there. It's not already there, but it's unavoidably coming.
So positive figures, but perhaps trouble on the way. Sandra, thanks for your analysis. That's Sandra Phlippen, Chief Economist at ABN AMRO Bank.